from the garden. It's Christina from Sunshine and Flora. Today is Tuesday, October 24th, and I'm out in the garden doing a couple of things that I wanted to share with you guys. The first thing we're doing is harvesting some flowers for what is going to be my very last cut flower bouquet of the season that I sell. So I wanted to take you along and we will harvest the flowers and put the bouquet together. And then I'm going to be planting some perennial plugs that I ordered from Farmer Bailey. Now I got these probably, oh my gosh, maybe 3 weeks ago. I have part of them in the ground already, but we're gonna plant the other ones. So I'll share that with you too. But let's head over to the dahlias and we're gonna start harvesting for that bouquet. Well, I grabbed one stem of yarrow on my way by, so that will go in the bouquet as well. So dahlias at this point are few and far between, but I do see a few in here that are definitely going to work, and we're going to go into the hoop house and see what is in there as well. Most of the dahlias are completely spent by now. You know, they're drying out, they're too far gone, they're damaged by bugs, but there are a few in here, so I'm going to be able to make a bouquet for my friend. This is for one of my friends that gets bouquets maybe every other week or so. He just likes to put them on his kitchen table. Usually spends $15 to $20. I think I should easily, between everything, be able to put together a $15 bouquet. So let's just see what I can find in the dahlia patch. Now, when you're harvesting dahlias, one of the things that you want to check to make sure that the dahlia is going to have good vase life, the front of it may look good, but you always want to check the back of the dahlia. So if any of it is starting to look a little older or brownish, that dahlia is past its prime and it's not going to last as long. This particular dahlia is a little short on this side, but the rest of it looks good. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in the bouquet. Now, I don't know how much I'm actually going to find out here in this outdoor dahlia patch. These are pretty much taken over by bugs, but we'll go in the hoop house and I should be able to find enough in there. This looks like a nice one. Oh, is it going to be too short? Maybe. This is a variety called Marn or Marin Sylvia. This is one of my favorite varieties that I have grown this year. Oh, most of these do not look very good. Like they look good from the front and then underneath the petals are all dried. Here's one that's not fully open but will be a nice accent. I'm going to cut it and just put it in there as an accent. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and head to the hoop house, maybe the zinnias, maybe some status. Let's look at the status first. This might be harder than I thought. Well, this isn't status. There is some ageratum. He's not far enough along yet, so that's not going to work either. My status is really getting done for the season. Oh, you know what? I might have a white one. So I ended up finding a couple nice pieces of white status. This is going to be enough for this $15 bouquet. These will just be a couple pieces of kind of the white accents that I'll put together on the sides, and I'll show you how I put it together, but that's going to be perfect. All right, I don't think there's anything else out here that is going to be harvestable. It's just all too far gone, so let's head to the hoop house. So I decided to stop in the zinnia patch quick on my way by, and there are actually some usable blooms in here. I'm so surprised. We just got quite a bit of rain the other day, and I see a whole bunch of new growth starting to push, which is shocking. I'm not getting too excited about it because in 3 days we're going to have highs in the 30s, lows in the teens. All these are going to be dead. But you know, if I could even harvest a handful of these for myself today, just to put in the studio at the front table, that would be a bonus. So I'm just going to pick what I see that's good, kind of shake the bugs out as I do it, and I might end up with a really nice studio bouquet along with selling one. Now, I don't expect to get a ton out of here, but You know, if I get 15 or so, that would be great. This patch right here is all of the Bennery's Giant series. It's one of my favorite varieties to grow. Next year I'm going to be choosing a few fewer colors of the Bennery's Giant. I'm also going to be growing more of the Queen Lime series, and then I have a packet of seeds from Dawn Creek that I'm going to be growing. And I just saw a post with Erin from Flora. She's going to be offering some of her breeding zinnias for sale, so I'm going to hopefully get my hands on some of those too. Now this is about a 5 or 6 foot wide row by 20 feet long. I want to grow 2 of these next year so that I have twice the zinnias. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that usually in the winter I always do a video where I show my entire plan for the coming year, so I will be doing that again this year. There's actually quite a few red in here, which I can't believe. I swear I came through here last week and there was nothing. It's a nice little bunch. This one is way past its prime, but look at how big the flower is on this Bennery's Giant. If you can compare it to my face, these get huge. And I found this year that the scarlet, this red, no, this isn't scarlet, this is deep red, got about the biggest. This and the purple, they're just awesome. Now I'm harvesting some of the salmon, which are my favorite. This year I grew the carmine and the salmon, and I definitely realized that I prefer the salmon coloring. A few shorter ones in the Queen Lime patch, but these can go in my studio bouquet. All right, I think I have gotten out of this patch what I'm gonna get. Let's head into the hoop house. Okay, so one of the areas of the hoop house that is looking very colorful right now are my snapdragons, and a lot of these have blooms that are going all the way up at the stem, and they just keep kind of going and going up, and so these are not usable for bouquets. But there is a few in here that are, like this one. This is the Potomac Royal. That is a perfect snapdragon bloom. So I'm gonna get a few of these just to add into the bouquet. All right, I got a few. One of these is kind of short and leaning to the side, but that'll just go in with my zinnias. And I see a couple dahlias that are usable, so let's grab those. Well, I think that this is everything, and actually pretty darn good. I cannot believe I got this many blooms out of here. So let's head into the studio and put this bouquet together. All right, so we're inside the studio. We're gonna put this bouquet together. I also grabbed one of my vases, and I'm gonna put just a bunch of the zinnias in that and set it out front on the table. But the good dahlias I want to use in this bouquet for my customer. Now I picked a couple, like this one. This looks really good from the front, but when you turn it to the back, can you see how the petals are really folding in? That means that it's past its prime, but it can sure go in my vase. Now another one, this is Linda's Baby. Looks really nice from the front, but when you turn it to the back, in there you can see how some of it is browning. This is not for my client, but that can go in my vase. So basically, I just want to pick the fresh flowers for my client, which clearly this snapdragon is perfect. Now this is only going to be a $15 bouquet. However, it's the end of the season. This is my last bunch of flowers. So I'm just going to make it a nice size, and I know that he will buy flowers from me next year. So I'm going to do a couple snapdragons. I have a couple nice dahlias. So basically I'm putting the snapdragons in the center and then the dahlias, and now I'm going to put a few zinnias around it and kind of flank it with the statice. I also was going to use this little dahlia that's not quite open yet, just as an accent. I had this little stem of yarrow for an accent, which definitely looks good with the Potomac Royal Snapdragon. And then, do I have anything else? That Snapdragon's a little bit short. Oh, here's one more dahlia that I can put in there. See how it's coming off that other stem? I think I'm gonna just use that in my bouquet. So basically, he's gonna get a couple snapdragons, a couple very small dahlias, yarrow. Let's pick out about 4 zinnias, and then we'll flank with the statice. So this yellow zinnia looks really good. This yellow zinnia looks awesome. I want to put the dahlias just a little bit higher. And then let's give him a red one. And this purple one. And let's do one more. Another purple one looks really good. Okay, so here's my bunch of color. Then I'm going to take one statice and put it around the outside over here, and then the other one will go on the outside over here. And I'm always stripping the extra leaves off the bottom of my flowers because you don't want those in the bouquet, or it will make your water yucky. Now this statice is pretty tall, so I'm going to have to take a little bit more of these leaves off the bottom. All right. That looks like a good bunch of color for the end of the season. So now my shortest stem is about right here, so I'm going to trim all of the stems to that shorter stem. Then I'm going to put a rubber band around the bottom a few times. And then I have my paper flower sleeve from Johnny's. I think this is the medium size. I've been using these a lot lately just because it's a lot faster. They are a little pricier than buying a roll of paper, but if you want to get things put together fast, it's really easy just to have a flower sleeve. I also like how the flowers sit down in the paper a little bit, just for delivery purposes, then that protects the flowers. So I'm just setting them right down in the edge of the flower sleeve, and then I take another rubber band and I'll put it around here. And notice that the stems are out from under that flower sleeve quite a bit. That's so when I put it in a bucket of water, the water does not wick up into the paper and it leaves it really nice. So here is that bouquet for that customer. Now I have all of these beautiful flowers. Let's just put some quick in a jar together. And I'm going to use these dahlias that I thought were a little too far gone to sell. I'm going to use them for myself. So those will kind of go on the front. I might have too many zinnias for this vase. I might be able to make a couple jars. So let's do only the salmons and the purples. This orange dahlia, okay. I'm going to do any salmons and purples together with the Linda's Baby, which means I can use some of these Queen Lime Orange. And I'm just throwing this together really quick. This is just going to go out on my front table here at the studio. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know I have had a photography studio for 20 years. And make sure you watch my big news video that I just posted a few days, maybe last week. We bought the neighboring building and I'm expanding that into the flower space. So I'm going to be documenting the whole renovation. It's a building from the 1930s. It's going to be a lot of work, but so fun. All right, so here's just a nice little bunch of zinnias. I want them to sit about there in the vase. Oh yeah, that's going to be pretty. Then we'll just kind of put that dahlia right in front. I do have one little shorty dahlia. I'll stick him down in front here. Oh, that's pretty. So just a nice little vase of zinnias. I'll go pop this out on the front table. Then I think I'll grab another vase and do all the reds, yellows, and oranges. This is a jar that came from a florist that my mom got one time. It's kind of an amber color. And I thought this would be really pretty with these zinnias for kind of that fall vibe. I'm not really going to arrange these anyway special. And the dahlia right in the front. Okay. My scientific way of measuring. Oh, that's pretty. That is just going to be a nice fall pop of color out in the front of the studio. Clearly kind of a no-brainer arrangement, but I'm going to really be able to enjoy these for a week or two here in the studio while we possibly have snow outside. So I'm going to go place this on the table out front, and then let's head back outside and get those plugs planted really quick. Okay, so this is the plug tray that I have yet to plant, and this is the Veronica Skylar Blue variety. I already have the white variety planted out in the garden. I did that a couple days ago, and I planted that in a space where I ripped out a bunch of straw flower. The holes are spaced 9 inches apart, which I'm hoping is the right spacing, but I just plugged those in there because it was an open space. It was really great soil, and I had 50 of those plants. So there are actually 54 in a cell tray, and this is a half tray. So when you order plugs from Farmer Bailey when they're perennials, you have the option of getting a half tray, which was perfect for me because I did not need 125 or a 210 tray of perennials. You pay for 50, you actually get 54, and this is perfect. So the Skylar Veronica is a spike type flower, and again, it's a perennial in my area, so I will be able to harvest off of this every single season. Now, because I am planting them this fall, they will bloom next spring. I may or may not harvest off of them because I really want those plants to put on a lot of root growth and really develop as a plant. So your first year, you may or may not get a harvest off of your plants, but then from years to come, you should have a lot of harvests off of them. And I found out that perennials are a really great thing to have in the garden, not just because you harvest off of them every single year, but they can be some of the earliest things that bloom in your garden when some of your annuals are really slow to get a start, which happened this year. So I have a few spots left in the bed where I put the white ones that we're going to plug some of these in, and then I need to figure out where the rest of these are going. All right, so I'm in the bed where the other white Veronica are planted, and I have 12 holes left where I'm going to plug in these purple ones. Now these are spaced 9 inches apart. I hope that's the right spacing. I should look on Farmer Bailey. I'll put it up on the screen. But this is the bed I had open, and so this is where these are going. I do have some, it looks like self-seeded scabiosa coming up in the holes, so I'm just going to pull those out. The ones coming up in the rock will get killed in a couple days, but the soil is nice and damp. I will water these in, and it's nice and workable. So I'm just going to come in here with my garden trowel. I'm going to loosen it up a little bit, and then, and I'll zoom in on this for you guys. I'm just making a little hole right in the soil, putting the plug in, and that's it. So this is going to take like 2 minutes literally to get these planted. So here's what the plug looks like. Some of them have 2 plants, some of them have 1 plant, but I'm literally just popping them in there, putting the soil around it, and that's good. There's a nice set of roots on all of these. Since it is going to get so cold in the next couple days, I will probably be throwing some frost cloth over these, just because I don't want them to get completely frozen from the start. But then we're going to have some warmer temperatures again, so they'll be able to put on a little bit of growth yet this fall. This is probably a little bit late to be planting these. I should have done it a couple weeks ago, but that's how things go. There is a lot of moisture in the soil, but some of these plugs that are on the edge of the tray are a little bit dry. So I will make sure to water these in lightly today. We're getting rain tonight and tomorrow, so they'll get some nice natural rainwater as well. All right, so that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my very last flowers of the season and also what I am planting right now. Next thing I'm going to work on today is clearing out the garden. I've got a lot of plants, obviously, to clear out and take to the dump. I need to start digging dahlias. I need to plant tulip bulbs. There's a lot still going on this fall, so I'll make sure to keep you updated on everything. I'm going to show you how I dig my dahlia tubers and how I store them this year, so that'll be an upcoming video. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll see you soon.